For 30 years, I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I didn't like it. It stressed me out. So I had to strip 30 years off, layer by layer by layer. Hi guys, it's Miss Mary back again with the video. Today I want to talk about my gray hair. I know you see it. I see it. I know it's there. I mean, can't hide it. It's there. Right now, at this present moment, as you're looking at me or watching this video, it has been flat iron, but normally I wear my hair in its natural state. So there'll be times when you'll click on the video, because I know you're going to stay tuned and watch me and follow this journey. You might see my hair in its natural state, which is I wear it natural. But I wanted to just kind of come on and share a little bit about my journey. It's a long journey, so this might have to be a two-part video, but we can see how much I can squeeze in. First of all, I want to say I'm 64 years old. I've been gray. I've had gray hair for over 30 years. And I've been coloring my hair for over 30 years. It started with the skunk patch right here going down the middle. It was kind of cute, but I've always colored it. I've had it professionally dyed. I've bought boxes over the counter. I've had it, I've used henna on my hair. I hated the gray. Number one, because I had a child later on in life, as they would say, somewhat late. I think I was like 34 years old when I had my last child. So I didn't want to walk into the school and people think I was his grandma. I just couldn't do that. So for years, I told myself, I'm doing it for him. I'm doing it because I don't want to be my kid's grandma, But then finally I had to face the facts after he got older and grown enough. Well, everybody knew I was not his grandmother, that I really was doing it for me. So back about 2 years ago, when I was positioning myself and getting ready to retire, I told my husband, I said, I'm just ready to get rid of everything that is stressing me out, everything. And one of those was my hair. I was so tired of, okay, there's a wedding. I got a hair appointment. There's a wedding in 2 weeks. Okay, cancel the hair appointment, rebook it because I need to dye my hair. I need to make sure the gray is not showing. I got tired of getting ready to go to the store or getting ready to go out with my husband, and I'm reaching in my bag and I'm searching to make sure I got my marker so I can color up the gray. I got so tired of the stress of the gray. I got tired of when you put a hat on to make sure that you can't see the gray. Parted my hair on this side so you couldn't see the gray. Just being obsessed with covering up the gray. I didn't realize how much stress it had me under until finally I told my husband, I said, I'm ready. I'm ready to just let go. So in the process of me being ready to let go, I ran into a friend of mine, and she said, at that time it was like it's been 2 years now, a year and a half now. And I had the gray hair and I had the ombre look, gray hair and then black hair or dark brown hair. And I didn't like it. And so a friend of mine's at church, she said, why don't you go to a colorist and let her strip your hair and just take all that color off? And I thought, great, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it. So I told my husband, I said, I'm going to go see a colorist and just let her just rinse this out, take all this dyed off my hair and just go head on with my gray hair. So my husband said to me, he said, Mary, why don't you just get used to seeing yourself with the gray? Why don't you just get used to looking at yourself with the gray hair before you go see a colorist? Let it grow out, for maybe 4 or 5 months and just get used to it. So I said, Harvey, you're right. Let me do that. But in the process, what I didn't realize was, as I began to watch the gray come in, I began to have to talk to myself, because remember, before, when the gray would come in, I hated it. I would say, oh my God, oh, I can't stand it. Oh my God, it just stressed me out. I had to change my mindset as I watched my gray hair come in. I had to look in the mirror and say, hey, gorgeous. Oh my God, look at you. You're so pretty. Oh my God, look how white you are. I had to really, really change how I felt about my gray hair. Because remember, for 30 years, I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I didn't like it. It stressed me out. So I had to strip 30 years off, layer by layer by layer, of learning to love my hair as it came in. So what I did is I let it grow out like my husband had suggested. And when it got to about 4 or 5 inches, I went to a colorist. And she, in turn, stripped it. But the one thing that she said to me when I sat in her chair, and she said, what is it that you want? I said, I want you to take all this dark off. And she says, okay. She said, but the one thing I need to tell you is that, because remember, I had 4 to 6 inches of gray. She said, what I have in this bottle will never, ever compete with what God grows out your hair. I'm just going to try to blend with what you have, but I can never, ever compete with it. And so I said, okay. But in the process, she couldn't get it gray. She made me blonde. So I have some pictures of me when I had blonde hair, because she said gray and blonde is in the same family. But I can tell you guys that I've never felt so free, I love it. I just love myself. And another thing that I learned too is, when I did decide to go gray, I went on YouTube, and there was one young lady on there, and she says, tell your family and friends, because you don't want people to show up at the door and your hair is gray and they'll think, oh my God, what's wrong? They think you're sick or you're ill or something. So I called all my kids and I told them, everybody was on board with it. One of my children, she said, well, you go for it, Mom. I'll support you, but I would never do it. My other child said, yes. I have 5, so I don't want to distinguish them. The other one said, I support you 100%. Then the most amazing thing that happened to me was what my boys said to me. 2 of them in particular. One of them, he said, Mom, go for it. He said, do you realize how many people that never lived to see their hair turn gray? They never lived like that. He had a friend that died when he was 18 years old. And my son said to me, Mom, he never lived to see his hair turn gray. So he said, go for it, Mom. And then my other son said, I support you. It's going to be a good journey. And then once I growed it out, they were there for me. They supported me. And I just love my gray hair. So that's my story about my gray hair. So I want you guys to give me a little bit of feedback. Talk to me. Tell me, maybe you're on your journey to gray hair, or maybe you're on your journey to natural hair. We can talk about natural hair. I took that journey too. The main thing I just wanted to share with you, make sure you like, subscribe, and stay posted, because guess what? We're doing life. This is Miss Mary. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share.